Good evening, kids. How you doing today? I'm back. So, today I'm going to go over some legalities, and we'll just go from there, okay? Before I get started, I want my kids to be well aware, that there is software out there that you can get on the computer, tablet, or your phone, okay? It's called ONSIT. It's an abbreviation. ONSINT or ONSIT, something like that. Okay. So what it is a hacker tool. And all you need is somebody's phone number. Once you put that phone number into that software, it automatically downloads the entire device information. Okay. This also gives them the ability to track you when your GPS is on. Okay? So that's what happened to Dad while I was on the road. Okay? In order to nip that in the ass, I had to stop using the phone completely. Okay? I had to turn all wireless things off. Okay? That's another tip for you when you're in public. Turn off Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, NFC, and GPS. Okay? Anybody with a Flipper 0, Flipper 1, a Pineapple, or any other physical hacker gadget that is a wireless transceiver can scan your wallet, because your debit card has a fucking antenna in it. It can scan your phone, your watch, anything else that's wireless that you have on you. Okay? So with those combined, you get information by walking past somebody, scanning them, and then you take that information, you put it in the ONSIT, and you got them. Okay? So I had to reverse engineer this to figure it out. Okay? And I was only aware of this because of my PI training. And there's a bunch of stuff you have to go through. Okay? So we'll skip that stuff for another time. Really just pay attention to what you got going on around you. Okay? Make sure all your wireless features are off on your device when in public. Don't give your phone number out while in public to random people, or even at the store typing it in to the screen for your discount. Skip it. Okay? It's not worth it. Okay? In order for me to completely deter the entire stalking situation on the way back, I had to go somewhere around 50 miles or more. I think it was like almost 2 miles. I'm sorry, 2 hours. It was about 2 hours, somewhere around 60 miles, something like that. I turned my GPS on and then clicked the button to share publicly. And then I went to the Find My app to find your AirTags. Turned that GPS feature on and shared it publicly. Okay. And the complete wipe of the brand new iPhone 15 Pro Max I just fucking got. Okay. Got rid of everything, wiped it, manufacturer reset, and then, turned those features on and ditched it in a fucking bush. And then turned around and went back the fucking other direction. And another thing that helped me is my cowboy routes. Okay. Most folks, even out in Idaho, Wyoming, and Montana, Utah, New Mexico, most people don't know these cowboy routes. Okay. It's where I take my truck and trailer and take horses across country without it being in city traffic or high dense traffic, period. Okay. You got to keep a kind of a mellow ride for the horses, otherwise they get really disturbed. Okay. So I took my cowboy routes, cut across, and made it back to I-40 real fucking quick, instead of going all the way to fuck up and back down to Grangeville. So with my knowledge and experience, I was able to deter all of this. Okay. Most folks wouldn't be able to figure this out that fast. But because of my experience, I was able to. Okay. So just be aware of giving out your personal information, your anything out in public. Try not to use any wireless feature on any of your devices while in public. Okay. And I would seriously consider looking at the Ghost phone or the Up phone or any other highly secure mobile device. Okay. You can get these new products people are putting together. They're taking Google Pixel phones, rooting it, and putting high security software on there. And it's a customized Android software that's de-Googled, and you have to tell the phone every time to use the GPS, the Wi-Fi, or the Bluetooth, or NFC, anything. Okay. So I'm going to be looking into those phones myself, so this shit will never happen again. And from here, I'm just going to go into the legalities of the stalking, the gang stalking, across state lines, stalking, harassment, threats, intimidation, illegal surveillance, illegal tracking, that kind of thing. Okay. So we're going to start off with coordinated harassment across state lines with threats of death can constitute a federal felony under 18 U.S. Code 2261 Alpha, the Interstate Stalking Punishment and Prevention Act. Federal jurisdiction. It is a federal crime to travel across state lines or use interstate communications, your cell phone, with the intent to kill, injure, or harass someone, causing them to reasonably fear for their safety. Penalties. Conviction can result in up to 5 years in federal prison and fines up to $250,000. Penalties increase to 10 to 20 years or life in prison if the stalking causes serious bodily injury or death. State charges. Additionally, gang stalking is generally prosecuted under state stalking laws, which often classify group-based intimidation as a felony, especially when it involves threats of violence or hate crimes. Victims should document all incidents and report them to local law enforcement and the FBI, as coordinated interstate stalking is a serious federal offense. Okay, good luck trying to get a hold of the fucking FBI. I've tried. They're fucking 800 numbers and the random numbers on their website. I'll go back to this fucking idiot fucking AI system that just does not understand a fucking thing I'm saying. Okay. Using bait to lure somebody into a situation where the intent to harm or kill them is generally a felony. In legal terms, this is often treated as conspiracy, solicitation, or attempted murder, depending on whether the harm actually occurs. Intent and conspiracy. Under federal law, 18 U.S.C. 373, soliciting or inducing someone to commit someone to commit a crime of violence is a felony, punishable up to 20 years in prison. Okay, if you coordinate with others to bait and harm someone, you may be charged with conspiracy to commit murder. Felony murder rule. If the baiting leads to death, the person who orchestrated the event can be charged with the felony, even if that person was not physically involved. This rule holds that if a death occurs during the commission of a felony, such as kidnapping, robbery, attempted murder, all participants can be liable for murder, even if they did not deliver the fatal blow. Okay, so before I continue, what that is saying is the person that instigated the gang stalking to occur, the person that incited or encouraged, or however you want to word it, okay, whoever inspired the third party or third parties, the gang, to stalk, harass, and threaten, that person is also liable. Even if that person is in another state and they send the biker gang after me and that person is not actually there, that person that inspired the gang to come after me across state lines is also liable for the same crimes. Okay? Self-defense invalidity. Whatever. Self-defense claims are typically invalid if the defendant instigated or provoked the confrontation. Okay? So the person sending the group or whatever cannot claim self-defense of themselves or others. Okay? This goes into some pretty elaborate shit. So basically, when you break it down Barney style, if you don't have the balls to face me face to face, you don't have any right to send somebody else to do your dirt work for you. Okay? Laws regarding castle doctrine or stand your ground do not protect individuals who bait or lure others onto their property with the intent to kill, as the law requires a genuine fear of imminent peril without prior provocation. Okay? So the only way you can claim the castle doctrine, even here in Texas, okay, the motherfuckers have to come to my house and kick in my fucking door before I'm allowed to claim self-defense. Okay? Or here in Texas, if somebody aggressively approaches me and I have the right to stand my ground, and if he pulls a gun on me, I'm allowed to use equal force here in Texas. Okay? Transferred intent. If the baited individual or an accomplice kills an unintended bystander, the doctrine of transferred intent applies. This means the killer's intent to harm the baited person transfers to the victim, resulting in a murder charge for the original instigator. Okay? So this is saying two different things here. Okay? If I was defending myself and somebody else got hurt, their charges for trying to harm me would transfer to me because I hurt somebody else that wasn't involved. Okay? Let's see here. Oh yeah, let's do this one. Using your child as bait to lure you out for the purpose of killing you constitutes criminal threats and potentially kidnapping or child endangerment, which are serious felonies in many jurisdictions. Criminal threats, making a threat to kill someone that places them in reasonable fear of imminent serious bodily injury is a felony in states like Florida under statute 836.10 and a wobbler misdemeanor or felony in California. Terroristic threats. In some jurisdictions, such as Minnesota, threatening to kill a child to terrify someone can be charged as a felony terrorist threat with penalties up to 5 years. Endangerment. Using a child as bait exposes the minor to imminent physical danger, which can lead to charges of child endangerment or child abuse under California penalty of 273 Delta Alpha, punishable by significant prison time. Coordinated harassment across state lines with threats of death can constitute a federal felony under 18 U.S. Code 2261 Alpha. Okay, we just read that one. Okay. Now, with all this said, okay, every single thing I just read are the things that I witnessed on the road. Okay. There were multiple vehicles from multiple states, including Mississippi, that were spotted in Grangeville. Okay? So, when those same vehicles stop at the same stops, rest stops, gas stations, and food, that's a red flag. When they park off to the side and watch me, that's a red flag. Okay? And when I get to the hotel and I'm surrounded by all the same people that have been following me the whole fucking time, that's a red flag. There's no way to convince me otherwise that it was not happening. And multiples follow me back. I had to ditch the phone, lose them in another state and city, continued on, before I had to fucking clear fucking drive back. Okay? I have not found the specific laws pertaining to hacking your devices, tracking, and surveillance. But it's out there. It's just a matter of time before I find all the legalities on that one. Okay? But it is a felony. It is in fact a felony to illegally surveillance and use tracking devices and hacking somebody's device to track them. Okay? The hacking is a separate charge. And when you add the surveillance and tracking to that hacking, that's even increased felonies. Okay? And then you get the separate stalking, harassment, threats, and intimidation, all that shit. Okay? One of the things that I just don't get it. Okay? Why? Doesn't make no damn sense. Okay? If you don't have the balls to come face me face to face, you seriously don't have any right to fucking send a posse to come after me, to try and intimidate me. Okay? They've pussied out as soon as the fucking cops showed up and they realized I'm not going to fucking back down. And apparently they saw me laying there in the bed with the window curtain open. One of them saw my 2011 fucking hanging out my pants. Must have spooked them. It's not that fucking hard to see. It's a fucking square that fucking sits out like that. Okay? Especially when I'm laying down. It's just a fucking bulge. Okay? Why come all the way out there to try and intimidate me if you're not going to do anything? That's a pussy move. Okay? So, for the individual in Mississippi that wants to fucking stalk me obsessively, you are doing this based off of lies and deception from that woman you married. Okay? It's that simple. You can legally look me up. You can do a background check. It's not that fucking hard. It takes you a little money to do the proper one. That little $20 thing on the internet don't count. Okay. The background checks that I run are federal level. It costs me around $150. Okay. That gives me everything. Fucking everything. And yet I don't use the information maliciously to stalk and harass. Not once. And yet I find out that a posse of bikers just think it's fucking fun as shit to do this kind of thing. I'm absolutely fucking stunned that they made it that far to begin with. So, with all that said, it's just a matter of time before all of these things add up and stacked up in a legal case. For those that were following me and watching my videos, you saw the dash cam in the window. It's forward, both sides, and there's one in the rear. I got license plates out the fucking wazoo fucking this past weekend. Don't cross the line. As you can see by my videos, I'm very heavily into law enforcement and psychology. Okay? So when you hear me look like I'm spazzing out, getting loud, that's just me voicing my opinion. That doesn't mean I'm a pussy-ass little bitch that can't take care of myself. Don't push me. Don't come to my house. Don't come to my neighborhood. Stop coming to Wichita Falls. You ain't got nothing here but your own sick obsession. I like fucking with a narcissist's head. I do. Because they do it to me and everybody else. So, when I sucker a narcissist into believing that I'm helpless and defenseless, it's so I could draw your ass in. Not so you can do something, but to make yourself look like a fool and to incriminate yourself. I will sucker you into incriminating yourself before I or anybody else gets hurt. So good luck with that. I'm going to continue studying law. I've got law enforcement academy to go to. And I'm not going PD. I'm going U.S. Marshal. So have fun. I'll see you later.